Dene, a dean of stones in, no, if it's Starn, it's probably Stone Dean, not necessarily the plural. This is part of the Chieveley, the Saxon parish, the Saxon estate of Chieveley in the 9th century, something like that. It's S558 from the Sawyer catalogue, and you can go and look for it yourself to see whether or not you know, to see how I worked out these sort of things. It includes the parish of Peasmore, and incidentally, on the last video about Chieveley, I mentioned that Chieveley is not named after chives. It's not. It's named after a guy called Cheever. What's interesting is that Peasmore and Leconstead, the two neighbouring parishes, are named after vegetables. Lec is the leek, Hampstead is the homestead of the leek, and Peasmore is the pond of the peas. It might be Margaret Gelly, it might be somebody else. No, Robin Fleming says when she's talking about the end of Roman rule, in her book, I've forgotten the name of it, but she talks about how some estates were royal estates that were meant to just mass produce goods, you know, to concentrate, to specialise, and Peasmore and Leconstead. Even though we're not 100% sure that Cheever is a name. So the Welsh have the chibbon and we have the chive, which is a type of onion. It's a small onion. Now the rules of working out place names reject that notion, but because the two neighbouring parishes are specialist parishes, royal estates to provide specialist foods, does it make it more likely that there might be an alternative understanding of Chieveley's name? The reason I'm saying that's quite a dangerous idea for people into place names. They hate people talking like this because there is the romantic notion of coming up with topographical reasons why places are named. You know, you know, I chose Starndine because it's an interesting name. It's an evocative name. If this was a bloke called Stan who owned this valley, and it was Stan's Valley, we'd go, oh yeah, that's boring. But anyway, let's go and have I would like to, you know, somebody ought to do a bit more research. I think it's an interesting idea. Anyway, but I'm going to stick with Cheever for the time being. But there's more information now. Anyway, let's go and have a look down there. Most of this land is flint and loam. It looks quite loamy, and there are great big stones at the end of the hedge. There's a mound of stones set up, obviously clear from the field, but I couldn't find any other stones in the hedge, which might suggest that the reported stone row from antiquarian times was further up. If you're just going to move the stones so you can plough, you're not going to make a nice neat and tidy mound at the other end of your field. You're going to push them to the end of to the side of the field, to this hedge. And they haven't done it. But there are great big stones at the top of Hill Green. It's where I park my car, and there, those great big stones might be the stone row, the ceremonial stone row that used to be here, probably. Yeah, I've been nauseous for a week. I think I've come down with something, but I'm trying to build up my strength by going for a walk. Regretted it, and then I saw a deer on the horizon and my little legs were going, and it's amazing what you can do when you've got the right incentive. How could I pass up the opportunity of looking at the dun-coloured darlings? But that's cheered me up a lot. I still don't feel like doing anything, but I basically ran 100 yards quite quickly to go and have a look. There are rewards. Isn't you lovely? This is Chapel Wood on the way up to the burn, and which is Winter Burner in earlier on in the charter, the Ford Stream, and there's a couple of elements in Saxon landmarks there along there. But this is Pleasant Wood. I've never been through it. It's yeah, it's nice dappled light, coppiced, or just young maybe.